Hey guys, it's Elena.
And it's Candace.
And you're listening to Cousins on Crime.
Look at us. We're red and green today.
We're Christmas.
We're Christmassy. Christmas. I have yet to take my decor down. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that post today that you made on Instagram was telling that you...
Yeah, I hate taking it down because your house really does look barren. It's like, what was the decor before this?
What was there?
Truthfully, I could blame Daniel because I have been asking him to bring all the Christmas bins in.
Oh, yeah. Just blame it on him. That's fine.
And I can't bring them in myself because I'm a princess. So
I don't know. I think of you as a do-it-yourself kind of gal.
I am, but like sometimes I'm like, the least you could do is bring in the bins.
Yeah.
Because I did all the decorating and I'm going to have to do all the cleanup.
Is he a good mind reader?
No, but he's not a good listener either. His ears don't work.
Uh-oh, Daniel.
So he's not listening. He's not listening to this either. No, but he is going to get a spanking when I get home. And not the good kind.
Not the good kind.
Yeah. But yeah, I see your nativity scene is still up.
Yeah, we talked about that. That's
and you're
from
gonna leave
last Christmas.
All year?
No, I don't plan on it. I didn't plan on leaving it up since last Christmas either.
One thing you have.
The one thing out, yeah. Are you don't want to be that type of person that like decorates the Christmas tree into other seasons,
I can't get down with
or
that.
Holidays? You don't want to do that?
No. I like when people do like a Halloween tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is a sacred tree. That is a sacred tree. Hey, I'm all for Halloween. I love Halloween, ghosts, goblins, witches, potions, but don't put it on a Christmas tree. Okay?
Okay. Got it.
It just feels wrong.
Got it. I mean, I'm not going to do it, so I'm not offended.
Yeah.
So.
And a Valentine's tree? Like, no.
Yeah. Then there's Easter.
Then there's
St. Patrick's. Well, St. Patrick's Easter.
St. Patrick's and Easter. No.
Come on, Candace, get with the times.
Nope. I won't. So how's your year going?
Pretty good.
We're a weekend.
Yeah. We're only a couple weeks. Wait.
1 week.
1 week. What day is it? I don't even know what day it is. That's how it's going.
It's all running together.
Yeah. We went to our uncle's burial and hung out with our cousin and our moms. Let me just tell you this funny story.
Go on.
They both brought their leather boots that they just love. Well, okay. On Sunday, the heel of my mom's boots just broke. Just crumbled off.
What?
And then,
like, was she walking at the time?
She tried them on, trying to see how it looked with the pants that she had. And then she's walking and she's like, "Oh, Elena." Okay. So then Monday, your mom has these shoes and we go to the burial and come back. She's walking through the house and she's like, "Oh, what was that? I just stepped on something." The heel of her shoe crumbled.
Wait, were they both in the house when this happened?
Yes.
Maybe the house is...
Oh.
Maybe there's something up with the floors. Did they step on the same?
No, it was different parts of the house. But your sister was like, "We got to take those ladies to a department store."
Y'all need some new shoes, ladies.
Mama needs some new shoes.
I know.
No, I thought that was funny. Like the same weekend they've got.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Uncle Kirby.
Yeah, he was such a sweet man.
Aww.
We only knew him for 3 years, the last 3 years.
Yeah. 23andMe.
We found him through 23andMe, yeah. But he was so sweet, and he was such a giving man. But Anyway, yeah, my back went out the morning of the
Lord.
burial.
Got heels blowing out, backs blowing out.
Yeah,
I'm glad I didn't go on the trip. I would have had something blow out.
I'm still recovering, but yeah, I was bending over a little bit.
Were you bending over backwards
No.
for other people like you usually do?
No. I couldn't do that this time. But anyway.
Well, good. I hope you had a refreshing time.
It was nice. It was sweet.
Yeah.
Got some girl time with our moms and cousins. So
Cool.
Wish you were there.
Well,
enough about us.
Enough about that.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Today we're talking about the Hazel Green widow. Have you heard of that? Of her?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, Elizabeth Dale, she was the daughter of Adam and Mary Dale. Adam was a wealthy man, and at the age of 14, he volunteered to fight the Redcoats during the American Revolution.
I knew this was an old story. It had the vibe, like Dale and...
Dale.
What's her name? Elizabeth?
Elizabeth
Yeah.
And Mary. Yeah, so he fought in the American Revolution and later helped Andrew Jackson raise an army to fight the Brits in the War of 1812. He settled in Tennessee. He was one of the first in DeKalb County, Tennessee. There he built and owned a successful mill before selling his holdings and moved to Maury County. Elizabeth was a beautiful and charming woman with auburn hair, dark brown eyes, and a fair complexion. She was well educated, an aristocrat. She loved fine clothes, fine horses, fine furnishings, all the things. When she was 17 years old, she married 20-year-old Reverend Samuel G. Gibbons
Wow.
in 1812.
Okay.
When he was 23, he filed a will that promised his entire estate to Elizabeth, minus $100 to his sister and a shotgun to his nephew.
Don't forget to leave the guns to somebody.
Yeah. After nearly 18 years of marriage, in 1830, they were living near Centerville in Hickman County, Tennessee. Reverend Gibbons fell ill with yellow fever, also known as black tongue, because apparently you get a black tongue. I didn't even know that about yellow fever. So this was common back in that day. His body swelled and his tongue turned black, and then he died.
How miserable. Just like,
what?
They had the worst
I know.
diseases.
I know.
You just suffered. Tongue turned black. You yellow fever.
It's so sad. His will had never been updated, as the two of them did not have children together in 18 years.
Well, do you have a will?
I don't.
Me either.
Chris and I talk about it a lot.
We talk about it a lot, but we just
don't do it.
I mean, I don't have a bunch of assets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, if something happened to me, it would obviously go to Daniel and he would.
But what if y'all are together?
We are together.
I mean, when y'all, I'm sorry, I should specify. What if y'all are together when you pass on?
See, that's the thing is I trust my family.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, y'all are the godparents of my girls. So,
right. I mean, yeah, I know where your girls are going.
Yeah. I mean, do you want them?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're like, oh God, she died.
What did she do to me?
Now I suddenly have 3 small children. Oh God.
I'm good with that. Yeah, we've already talked about that.
Yeah, we have. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird because like, I think you just
hope for the best.
Well, if I had different family members, I probably would be very concerned about where everything was going to go.
Right.
And how my girls were going to be cared for. But I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Even if both of us went, both of our families would do anything. I think so. Maybe they were just super comfortable.
Yeah.
Did they have family that lived nearby?
Well, I mean, her parents.
Yeah.
I don't know about him. There wasn't much about him.
So,
but the fact that they didn't have any kids, any children
in that many years.
I mean, why am I surprised? I didn't have kids. So,
well, it's not for everybody.
It's not. So Elizabeth, she inherited all of his worldly goods, an estate that included slaves and other property.
Ooh.
Elizabeth settled in Columbia, Tennessee, where her brother, here's her family, her brother Edward Dale was well known and well off.
Oh.
October 3rd, 1831, she took a second husband. His name is Philip Flanagan. He was 35 years old. Philip was very well dressed, and his personal belongings were the best money could buy.
Oh, then he was right up her alley.
Yeah. He owned a carriage making business, but he was deep in debt at this time.
Ooh.
3 months after they married, he started to get ill.
Oh, Lord.
He consulted a doctor 45 times.
What?
Just about every other day he went in to see the doctor.
And they're like, you're fine. Sleep it off.
Yeah, I don't know if they said, here, try this. Take this. But he ended up dying in March 1832.
Of a black tongue?
His body swelled up. It doesn't say anything about a black tongue, but after 5 short months of marriage.
Wow.
He was buried at Maple Hill Cemetery. Elizabeth had the following inscription engraved on his tombstone. It said, "He was the sincere friend, the agreeable companion, affectionate husband, the honest man."
Okay.
I mean, that's sweet.
That is sweet. Short and sweet.
Just like their marriage?
Yeah, exactly.
November 6th, 1833, Elizabeth married her third husband, William Alexander Jeffries.
Okay.
The two of them met during her marriage to Mr. Flanagan. When he heard that Mr. Flanagan had passed, he came to her rescue.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your husband."
Yeah.
So
Can
does
I
that
take
mean
you
you're
as my bride?
Yeah, are you free?
Yeah, he came to Maury County to take her as his wife. That was just the culture in that time.
Yeah.
Remaining a single woman was thought to be a disgrace. And an unmarried woman, especially at the age of 30, was thought to be an old maid. At this time, Elizabeth was in her late 30s, but she was said to be still beautiful and charming.
Yes.
Mr. Jeffries was a widower who owned a large plantation in Hazel Green, Alabama. There, he had built a 4-room log cabin on an Indian mound.
Wow.
He felt that this was the best place to overlook his property. He could see all around of what he owned.
Haunted.
The two of them had 2 children together, 1 boy and a girl.
Oh.
This marriage lasted for about 5 years before Mr. Jeffries died.
Stop.
He died in 1838. His body was found lying in the barnyard after becoming suddenly ill.
At this point, you should try something new.
But
You
it's
know what I mean?
working.
Yeah, but try something different. Make
Okay.
it look like an accident this time.
You
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because all of these men are just getting sick.
they're getting sick. That's,
What are you feeding them, Elizabeth?
yeah.
Elizabeth inherited his entire estate.
Mm-hmm.
Their daughter, Mary Elizabeth Jeffries, ended up dying at age 6. So 3
No.
husbands and now a daughter have died in her her
no.
care, basically. I think her daughter was like close to her 7th birthday, but she was buried on the plantation there at Hazel Green. So Elizabeth married again in May 1839 to Robert A. High. Robert was a member of the Alabama House of Representatives.
Well,
Fancy.
excuse me.
He was well off with his own property. He himself had been married a few times, so it didn't seem to bother him that Elizabeth had been too.
Did it bother him that she had multiple husbands who died?
Right? Like,
suddenly
okay,
got
she's
ill.
been married a few times,
He's
but
like, that's not concerning.
meh. Yeah, I mean, I speculate that maybe he appreciated that she was already wealthy and had her own property, so it wasn't like she was going to be totally dependent on him.
He's like, you don't need me for my money.
Yeah,
You've got enough, right?
Yeah, we can make this work. So yeah, she wasn't going to be totally dependent on him, and I don't know what kind of guy he was. I mean, that's just all in my own opinion, look from the outside looking in, you know. But Robert traveled a lot, so the two of them spent more time apart than together.
Right.
So maybe it was going to work.
Mm.
Would you believe me if I told you that within 2 years of marrying Elizabeth, Mr. Robert High died unexpectedly on February 16th, 1841.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I do believe you.
Well, I wish I could tell you that this was the end, but wait, there's more. She married her fifth husband.
No.
Absalom Brown.
Wow.
On March 16th, 1846. Mr. Brown was a wealthy merchant. Elizabeth had her son from her marriage to Mr. Jeffries, and Absalom had a daughter from a previous marriage. She had the land and he had more money. Elizabeth was able to build the house of her dreams on that very Indian mound that the cabin sat on in Hazel Green, Alabama. The house had 8 large rooms, 4 downstairs and 4 upstairs.
Ooh.
It had 2 stairways and a huge front door. It was furnished with the best furniture and the finest things. The gardens surrounding the home were beautiful, dressed with different kinds of flowers and shrubs.
Sounds lovely.
It does. But y'all, just a year after they got married, yet another tragedy would happen to Elizabeth. Absalom Brown died 1847. He didn't even get to enjoy the house that they built.
Well, it wasn't for him. It was for her.
After his death, his body began to swell. Elizabeth, she wanted him buried that night.
Oh my gosh.
The town started talking and rumors flying. After the 5th husband?
It took him that long to start flying rumors around?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It was working. Yeah, so why bury him so quickly? And why at night? Digging a grave at night? Many thought that the reason that he swelled up was because she poisoned him.
Ooh.
She had to bury him quickly to hide the strangeness of it all.
Oh, yeah. The swelling.
The black tongue. I mean, I don't know if he got a black tongue, but I'm assuming it's the same thing.
Same poison?
Yeah. But wait, there's more.
Stop. No. Go ahead.
Wait, do you want me to get into
go ahead.
Okay. So Mr. Willis Root was number 6.
No.
Yeah. He married Elizabeth in 1848. Elizabeth's parents had moved into Elizabeth's home around 1850. They moved in with the both of them. I don't have any information on Willis. Makes me really sad.
Oh.
But come October 1851, Mr. Adam Dale, Elizabeth's father, died and was buried with Elizabeth's daughter on the plantation in the family cemetery. Just a few months later, after 3 years of marriage in 1851, Willis Root died.
Stop this.
So how in the world could a woman have such tragedy?
Such bad luck.
To have 6 husbands die. Elizabeth's mother went to live with her other daughters.
She's like, you know what? I'm actually going to go.
Yeah.
This is not turning out so good.
Yeah. So she went to live with her other daughter and son-in-law. Mrs. Dale eventually asked her son-in-law, Nathan Vaught, to go and retrieve Adam Dale's remains. There was so many rumors going on about, and when Absalom was found in that strange way, the swelling, and she wanted to bury him, and then here's another husband. So they really speculated
that her dad was killed in the same way.
Right. So when Nathan Vaught went and retrieved the remains of Adam Dale, when the body was exhumed, Nathan noticed that his body was petrified and dark in color. It just wasn't normal. I mean, I don't know how did they know what the remains were supposed to look like at that point? But rumors sparked once again.
It wasn't just regular like decomp. It was something.
They just thought it strange. Yeah. So they thought, well, maybe she did the same thing.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I don't know if the rumors really ever stopped, but it was believed that Mr. Dale was poisoned. Mr. D.H. Bingham, a school teacher, he wasn't thrown off by all of this.
Oh, stop. Number 7.
At this time, Elizabeth was close to 60 years old.
Wow.
And as reported, she was still beautiful, and Mr. Bingham was intrigued. While they were getting to know each other, Elizabeth ran into a little problem. His name was Mr. Abner Tate. As the story goes, Elizabeth's livestock got loose and ruined Mr. Tate's crops.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. He was not happy, and he had a plan to get her back.
Oh.
He was spreading those rumors of Elizabeth poisoning her husbands, and he was not quiet about it. One day, Mr. Tate was shot and wounded. The story was that Elizabeth paid one of her slaves to kill him, and this slave that she hired subcontracted one of Tate's slaves to do the deed.
Jeez. Oh.
Well, he was just injured. He didn't die. So Tate continued. He actually ramped up his harassment of Elizabeth, and she fought back. It was a back and forth thing for a while, but she fought back by having her new beau, D.H. Bingham, accuse Mr. Tate of murder. The accusation was that he had killed a traveler from Kentucky on his property and had the body burned in his fireplace to dispose of the evidence. Completely fabricated.
Jeez.
Mr. Tate retaliated by writing a pamphlet, like a bulletin.
I kind of love it. He's like, I like to create PowerPoints to prove my point. So he's my guy. He's like, okay, I'm just going to
hereby declare
create marketing materials.
It was titled Defense of Abner Tate against charges of murder preferred by D.H. Bingham. In this notice, he wrote, her bridal chamber was a charnel house, which is a building where corpses or bones are piled. Yeah. So he added a quote around whose marriage, the way they talked back then.
I know. So flowery.
Around whose marriage. Okay, hold on. I'm going to start that over. He added a quote around whose marriage couch 6 grinning skeletons were already hung.
So visual.
Elizabeth filed a $50,000 defamation suit against Mr. Tate. One story is that she kept 6 pegs by her front door. Hanging from each peg was a hat belonging to each of her husbands. Yeah. Before the court made a decision in the defamation case, Elizabeth sold her Hazel Green plantation and moved to Mississippi. And the case was dropped. So there is no documentation that she ever married again. her and D.H. Bingham did not marry.
Okay. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get out of this.
Yeah, this is too much drama for you, Mama.
He's like, you know what? I don't want to be unlucky number 7.
Yeah. So she died in Marshall County, Mississippi in 1866. And despite all the rumors, there was never an investigation or charges brought against her in any of her 6 husbands' deaths.
That is shocking.
Right?
I mean, I guess it was of the time.
True.
I mean, it's not like they were taking tissue samples and running toxicology and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, how could you prove it?
Right. I mean, they could have, but
if they really wanted,
if they had cause to, or if they felt like there was cause.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know, maybe her dad played a part in, he's this wealthy man of the time and they didn't want to mess with his daughter. I don't know.
It just was never enough for her.
Right.
Like, it was never enough.
Right.
Jeez.
So what do you think? Did Elizabeth poison her 6 husbands only to take all of their money and possessions? Did she get away with the perfect murder 6 times? Or was she just really ill-fated?
She did it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
They all died in the same way.
Yeah.
Why didn't she change it up a bit? You know what I mean?
I guess it was just so clean. Like, she didn't have to clean up a mess.
And I guess, too, that, like you said, it was working. She was not being suspected of any wrongdoing 5 times, 6 times.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There is a song about Elizabeth called Rose in Paradise. Now, the people that wrote the song, a little thing that I heard about that was they couldn't remember her name, so they thought it was Rose. So that's why it's Rose in Paradise. But it's written by songwriters Jim McBride and Stuart Harris and sung by Waylon Jennings.
Oh,
it went to the top of the country music charts back at, I don't remember what year, but I didn't put that in my notes. But yeah, a song about this Black Widow.
Yeah.
In 1968, the Hazel Green mansion was set on fire by an arsonist.
What?
1968. And it burned to the ground. So all that's left is the front steps.
Haunted.
On that Indian mound. Huh?
How did it burn was anyone ever...
I don't know. I don't know if anybody was ever charged or what. But yeah, they said it was arson. Mm-hmm.
That's odd. Because after all that time.
Yeah, 1968.
Oh, that poor house.
I know. I bet it was beautiful.
Oh, I bet it was.
We've been through a plantation house together, and I love history like that. And you walk through it and you're like looking, imagining with the people that used to live there, and you just make up this beautiful story. But then there's the Hazel greenhouse. That's
yeah. Yikes. And I don't appreciate the name either. I don't appreciate them taking my daughter's beautiful name and soiling it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's that.
That is, it kind of reminds me of Corey Richins. Remember how her mom's husband died?
Oh, yeah.
Mysteriously of an overdose. And then she poisoned her husband. Not once. Well, allegedly.
Right.
Let me say that for legal reasons. Yeah. It's alleged that she poisoned her husband more than once. It's like, if it's working.
Yeah. I feel like we hear these stories often.
That is wild.
Like they keep doing the same things because they didn't get caught the first time.
Well, and like, what was the justice system like back then?
Yeah.
What were their priorities back then?
War.
Yeah.
The revolution.
I mean, was this something they really wanted to take up arms for? Like,
yeah.
Yikes. That is terrible.
I know.
Those were real people.
Yeah. Successful men.
That had built an amazing life for themselves and wanted to
Yeah.
share it with her. And she just was like, well, we can share it for a little bit.
Yeah. But I'm going to take your
Yeah.
possessions.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was great. Let's do it again sometime.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Cousins on Crime. Get connected with us by becoming a free member on our Patreon. Or for just $5 a month, you'll have access to bonus episodes, discussion groups, and much more. If you can't afford $5 a month, we get it. Inflation, am I right? Please consider leaving us a positive review and rating wherever you listen.
And don't forget merch. Support our podcast and show the love by sporting t-shirts with our latest designs, or grab an evidence bag to keep the chain of custody for all your valuables. Don't forget to follow our show on your favorite streaming app so you never miss an episode, and get photos and updates on our Instagram at Cousins on Crime Podcast or our Cousins on Crime Facebook page. Have a case suggestion? Email us at cousinsoncrime@gmail.com.